Forbidden Sands. Long ago, in the vast endless deserts of Arabia, there was a place feared by all who roamed the sands. Known only as the Whispering Sands, it was a cursed oasis hidden deep within the golden dunes, where the wind carried secrets and the night concealed horrors. No traveller dared to linger there, for they knew the legend of the Djinn imprisoned beneath the shifting sands, a being of immense power and wrath, betrayed and bound by an ancient tribe. It is said that the Djinn's rage twisted the land itself. The once serene oasis became a storm of eternal winds, whispering the tales of those who had vanished trying to seek the Djinn's forbidden treasure. Some claimed to have heard voices on the wind, pleading for help, warning of dangers unseen. Others spoke of glowing green eyes staring from the shadows, watching their every move. No one who ventured into the heart of the Whispering Sands ever returned, or so the stories claimed. But not everyone believed in curses. Among the nomadic tribes, there was one man, young and bold, who dismissed the tales as mere superstition. This was Idris, a fearless wanderer with a thirst for adventure and a determination to uncover the truth behind the myths. When he stumbled upon an ancient map etched into a weathered stone tablet showing the location of the cursed oasis, he felt destiny calling. With only his camel, his wits, and the mysterious map, Idris set off under the blazing sun. For days, he journeyed across the dunes, guided by the stars at night and the scorching winds by day. The whispers began long before he reached the oasis, faint, almost imperceptible, like distant voices calling his name. At first, he dismissed them as tricks of the wind, but as the days passed, they grew louder, more insistent. "Turn back," they seemed to plead. "Do not wake him." Idris's resolve only hardened. He was no stranger to fear, and he refused to believe in tales meant to frighten children. When he finally reached the oasis, the sight before him was both breathtaking and terrifying. Towering palms rose from a shimmering pool of water, surrounded by sand that glowed faintly under the moonlight. Yet the air was unnaturally still, heavy with an oppressive silence. It felt as if the entire world was holding its breath. As Idris stepped closer, the ground beneath him trembled. The whispers turned into a low hum, vibrating through the air. And then he saw it. A chest, half buried in the sand, glowing faintly with an eerie green light. It was unlike anything he had ever seen, adorned with intricate carvings of ancient symbols that seemed to shift and writhe under his gaze. The treasure of the Djinn. But as Idris reached out, a deep, resonant voice boomed through the air, freezing him in his tracks. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" it demanded, the sound echoing like thunder. The sands around the chest began to swirl, rising into a towering figure cloaked in shadow. The Djinn, its eyes burned with an unnatural green light, and its form flickered like a flame caught in the wind. "For centuries, I have been bound here," the Djinn growled, "guarding the secrets and riches of those who imprisoned me. What makes you think you are worthy to claim what is mine?" Idris summoned his courage, his voice steady despite the terror gripping his heart. "I seek the truth," he said. "The truth of who you are and why you were cursed." The Djinn laughed, a sound that sent shivers down Idris's spine. "The truth," it hissed. "You seek what mortals cannot comprehend. But very well. If you wish to prove your worth, You must face my trials." Before Idris could respond, the ground beneath him gave way, and he plunged into darkness. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in a vast cavern, illuminated by a pale, ghostly light. Around him were 3 paths, each marked with a symbol: a flame, a serpent, and an eye. The Djinn's voice echoed through the chamber. "Choose wisely, wanderer. One path leads to truth, another to riches, and the third to your doom." Idris studied the symbols, his mind racing. The flame seemed to flicker as if alive, the serpent coiled and writhed, and the eye glowed with an unsettling awareness. Trusting his instincts, Idris chose the path of the eye, stepping into the unknown. The air grew colder as he walked, and the whispers returned, louder and more urgent. Visions flickered before him, the faces of those who had come before, their eyes hollow and their mouths open in silent screams. He pushed forward, his determination unwavering. At the end of the path, he found himself before a massive stone door, inscribed with the same shifting symbols as the chest. As he reached out to touch it, the Djinn's voice returned. "You are brave, mortal, but bravery alone will not save you. Answer this riddle, and the truth shall be yours. I have no life, yet I can die. What am I?" Idris thought carefully, the weight of the moment pressing down on him. The answer came to him like a whisper in the wind. "A shadow," he said confidently. The door groaned open, revealing a chamber filled with treasures beyond imagination. But at its center stood a pedestal, and upon it rested an ancient book, bound in black leather. Idris approached, his heart pounding. As he opened the book, the Djinn appeared before him, smaller now, almost human. "You have proven yourself worthy," the Djinn said. "This book holds the truth you seek. But beware, knowledge comes at a price." Idris nodded, his hands trembling as he turned the pages. What he read that night changed him forever. For the truth of the Djinn's curse was not what he had expected. The tribe that had imprisoned the Djinn had done so out of fear, not justice. The Djinn had been a protector of the desert, betrayed by those he once served. As Idris left the whispering sands, the Djinn's voice followed him. "You have freed me, wanderer, but the world is not ready for the truth. Guard it well, for the sands have ears, and the winds have tongues." From that day on, Idris was no longer a mere wanderer. He became the keeper of the Djinn's tale, a guardian of the truth hidden within the desert's embrace. And though the whispering sands fell silent, the legend lived on, carried by those brave enough to listen. Did this story captivate your imagination? Don't let the legend end here. Subscribe to You Crave News channel for more epic tales that will transport you to worlds of mystery, magic, and wonder. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this journey, and leave a comment below to share your thoughts or your favorite part of the story. Stay tuned for the next adventure. The sands still have many secrets to reveal.